Hey guys, this calculus lesson is on more trig functions with derivatives. So here we'll do the tangent and the cotangent and the cosecant and the secant. So take the derivative of those. All right, so let's go ahead and do find the derivative of tangent of x. Remember, tangent is sine over cosine. So this is a quotient one right here. So I'm going to use my quotient rule from a couple of lessons ago. I think it was the last lesson. So here we go. So it's going to go ahead and set it up. So when I take care of that, and remember, sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. So you get 1 over cosine squared. So the derivative of tangent is secant x, or secant squared x. Okay. So far we did this a couple of lessons ago. The derivative of sine is cosine. The derivative of cosine is opposite sine. And then let's go ahead and add the derivative of tangent is secant squared x. And you can do it the same way by doing the derivative of cotangent is opposite cosecant squared x, okay? And we'll do one of these here in just a minute. So the derivative of secant is secant x tan x, and the derivative of cosecant is opposite cosecant cotangent. So let's go ahead and show that the derivative of cosecant is opposite cosecant cotangent. Okay, so remember, cosecant is 1 over sine, so I'm going to do the quotient rule with 1 over sine to take the derivative of that. So there's my quotient rule right there, and the derivative of 1 is 0, so this goes away. And the derivative of sine is cosine, so I get 0 minus cosine, which is, and then all over sine squared. Sorry, I forgot the sine squared right there. And then so this is going to be negative cosine over sine squared. So sine squared is sine of x, and then so I separated them up. There's my cosecant right there, and there's my cotangent right there. Okay, and you can do the same thing with secant x, doing the setting it up the same thing. Okay, so make these guys your friends. You're going to be using them so much throughout calculus, you'll have them memorized sooner or later. So the sooner the better, you guys. All right. So let's try a problem here. Let's find the derivative of y first, and then plug in pi over 4 at the end right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do quotient rule on this, you guys. There's a couple of ways to do this. You'll find the higher in math you get, there's 3 or 4 or 5 correct ways. And there's actually many of the same answers. They look a little bit different. You'll see in just a second. So here's quotient rule right there. And I'm going to go ahead and continue there. So let me back up here. So here's f prime g minus fg prime all over g squared. Okay, this is f, the top one's f, the bottom one's g. Okay, and then so when I take the derivative of 1, that's 0. When I take the derivative of cosine, that's opposite sign, but there's a negative in front of it, so it becomes positive sign. Okay, and then the derivative of sine is cosine, and then I went ahead and distributed this cosine through right here and got me to this. This minus sign is still this minus sign right there. And then I distributed this negative sign through, and so that gets me to this right there. You guys with me? All right, now notice here's a sine squared plus cosine squared. Remember that equals 1. So sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. And then I'm going to use the identity right here. Sine squared is also equal to 1 minus cosine squared. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute, instead of having sine squared, I'm going to do 1 minus cosine squared. And then that's a difference of squares, 1 plus cosine, 1 minus cosine. And you can see those are going to cancel right there. So my derivative of y is 1 over 1 plus cosine. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and substitute. Now I know what the derivative of y is. I'm going to go ahead and substitute the pi over 4 in right there. Okay, probably could have done it right there and you're going to get the same answer right there, since they just want to know this value right here. So just depends on what your teacher's looking for. So let's go ahead and substitute that in. So I'm going to go ahead and do pi over 4 right there. The cosine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. So I get 1 over 1 plus root 2 over 2. And then I'm going to change this 1 to 2 over 2, so I can have I don't want fractions inside of fractions right here. So I'm going to make this 2 over 2. So then this is going to become 2 plus root 2 all over 2 in the denominator right there. You guys with me? All right, and then whenever you have a denominator in the denominator, it gets flipped up and becomes the numerator right there, or it gets multiplied with the numerator anyway. So this 2 is going to go up here with this 1 times 2, so I get that as the answer. So now I've seen other forms of this answer, you guys. In fact, I've seen this answer right here as root 2 over root 2 plus 1. That's the same answer, you guys. So if you're wondering if your answer is the same as the back of the books, just plug them into your calculator. I think you get 0.58 something or other, and same with the other one right there. Okay, so that's it, you guys, and that would be my homework assignment if you were sitting in my class.